Will the United States Supreme Court approve and legitimize Trump's authoritative coup? Is there a guarded conspiracy to establish a new world order? By Lagrant, the Bible explicitly states, "In the latter days there shall be a new world order composed of an alliance of 10 nations." Revelations 13:1-6. This confederation of 10 nations shall manifest as a new world power only after this 10-nation alliance destroys the ruling world power with fire. Revelations 17:16-18. Is it possible that Donald Trump and Musk attempt to disassemble, disarm, weaken, dissolve, and alienate the United States of America from all nations be the genesis of Revelation 17:16? Since World War II, the United States of America has undeniably been the ruling world power. Is there another country that fits the description of the whore described in the book of Revelation? It is not an unreasonable proposition that a conspiracy to destroy the ruling world power will be executed to establish the new world order prophesied in Revelation 13. Nor is it unreasonable to suggest the United States Supreme Court could be one of the secretive participants of a conspiracy to fulfill Revelation 17:16. Consider this. It is patently clear Donald Trump has decided to not obey federal court orders that prohibit him from dismantling and destroying the federal government and recognizing the U.S. Constitution. This bold and illegal unilateral disregard of the United States Constitution and interpretation of federal laws exclusively reserved to the judicial branch of government in the United States Constitution will cause the American public to strongly oppose a Trump coup. Trump will need the support of the United States Supreme Court to legitimize the end of American democracy. The only way a majority of the American population will begrudgingly accept Trump's desire to become an American king and disannulment of democracy as we know it. There must be a scintilla of legitimacy that supports Trump's ambitious coup. Several U.S. federal district court judges ruled against Trump's executive orders. After Trump refused to comply with several United States district court judges' orders, Trump suggested that one of the judges who ruled against his executive order be impeached. Subsequent to Trump's impeachment declaration, the chief judge of the United States Supreme Court made a public statement that Trump should not suggest a judge be impeached because Trump disagrees with the judge's ruling, but rather appeal the judge's order. Should this unusual public advice by the chief judge of the U.S. Supreme Court raise a red flag and eyebrows? Why did the chief judge think it necessary to make this statement? Trump has an army of lawyers. Was the chief judge signifying to Trump that Trump should effectuate his coup in a manner that would be more acceptable to the American public? Was the chief judge signifying to Trump that Trump's executive orders would be held constitutional by the United States Supreme Court? A ruling by the United States Supreme Court in Trump's favor would be the scintilla of legitimacy needed for the American public to begrudgingly accept the dismissal of American democracy as defined by the Founding Fathers in the United States Constitution. With the legal support of the United States Supreme Court, Trump cannot be considered a tyrant or dictator, but rather a new age democratic leader. Trump's destruction of American democracy would be declared legal and legitimate because the United States Supreme Court's interpretation of Trump's executive orders did not conflict with the United States Constitution. According to the Constitution, the United States Supreme Court is the final and only branch of government authorized to interpret what is legal and constitutional. Marbury versus Madison. Without the legal support of the United States Supreme Court, any nefarious attempt to destroy American democracy as we know it, and the ruling world power, that is, the United States of America Incorporated, would cause an uproar and maximum resistance by the American population. Why does Trump need the United States Supreme Court support? When a perceived legitimate governmental entity gives its approval, the American population will accept a detrimental outcome just because the governmental entity approved of the action taken. Example, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, approves of foods and drugs that constantly are later found to cause cancer or death. However, these detrimental effects are accepted by the American population as natural acts of life just because these deadly foods and drugs were approved by the FDA. Similarly, if the United States Supreme Court holds Trump's executive orders are constitutional, America will accept the outcome as legitimate, however detrimental and destructive Trump's executive orders may be. Why would the Supreme Court support Trump's attempt to turn America into a dictatorship? Because everyone knows in a few years black and brown people will be the majority population in America. If America remains a democracy as defined in the United States Constitution, It will be the end of white rulership, white supremacy, and white privilege. This too was foreseen by the founding fathers of the United States of America.